Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and information with your friends and family. So if you look in Book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 33, these are the spies after their return from scouting the land and giving their report. They describe to the people, in their opinion, at least, how bad it is, how dangerous it is, and how precarious it would be to go and try to enter this land. What did they say? Well, they described the giants, and then in this verse, they describe how big and giant these people were. They were like superhumans. And they said, and we looked, or we felt like grasshoppers in our eyes, and so were we in their eyes. Indeed, the Midrash tells us that when they were walking the fields, they can actually hear the giants speaking about them. And the giant said, "Oh, wow, look at that. We see these little creatures moving around. But interestingly, they don't look like real grasshoppers. They look like men. They look like human beings. We've never seen something like this." Now, what is the point of this verse? In other words, what was the message that they were trying to convey to the people? How small we are and how giant they are. Wouldn't it have sufficed if the verse would have told us that we seemed like grasshoppers to them, or we felt like grasshoppers to them? Why go through this whole lengthy description, which seems to be a little superfluous, a little redundant, in saying we felt like to us like grasshoppers, and so were we in their eyes? Especially considering that the Torah never, quote unquote, wastes any words. If the Torah can say something in one word, it won't say it in 2 words. If it can say it in 1 word, it certainly won't say it in 3 words. Here is almost a whole half a sentence is almost repetitive and unnecessary, or so it seems, totally superfluous. Well, the answer is, like everything else in the Torah, it's not just the generality of the story that teaches us a lesson, but every single detail has so many lessons for us in life. This is our book of instructions, so every word, every detail could be a whole lesson in itself, a whole directive in itself. This is a lesson for us in life, for each and every person, in every single situation. And this tells us how one's attitude about oneself is what they portray to others, is what others most likely will think about them. Notice what they said was, we were in our eyes like grasshoppers, which means like so small and insignificant, we can just be stepped on. And so too were we in their eyes. Typically, what you feel about yourself or what you're insecure about yourself might very well be what others will think about you. Of course, we have to always be careful not to be arrogant, but certainly not to be dishonest. Dishonesty means when you're lying to yourself about yourself, not to put yourself down and not to be insecure about the qualities that God has given you. When you do that, unfortunately, when one thinks low of themselves or one doubts themselves, they now portray that to others, and that is the impression that others will get. So yes, be positive about yourself, put on a happy face, and become associated with success and happiness, and that will become, even if it's not yet, it will become your absolute reality.